maybe we could just start there real quick, since it is kind of like partially the short-term sentiment and why we're seeing everything pop off so much. Partially is because of the bullish election results and everything that Trump has been saying, the people that he's been assigning to his cabinet and things like that. Not getting political on the show, of course. I mean, we're really a one-issue political show, if anything. And, not our fault that the politicians had to turn it partisan, and the party that's not been attacking it is the one that won. So we'll get into, obviously, charts and stuff like that. But Axis, just your thoughts. I'm curious on Trump winning the election, some of the price action and stuff we've seen from it so far, but just how this was one of those like major catalysts. I mean, we think we're getting a bull cycle no matter what, but this is a big catalyst, at least in the short term. So what have your thoughts been on that so far?
So if you remember, we were on, I think back in, maybe it was April, May, and Bitcoin had started downtrending. And I said that what the perfect situation would be was we'd trend sideways for 6 to 8 months. And here we are about that amount of time later, and leading into that elections. And, the markets responded fiercely and violently. If we're looking at Bitcoin, Dogecoin, with the stuff going on with Gary getting pressured out now from the SEC, that kind of boded well for XRP. Now XRP is making ridiculous moves. Cardano. So yeah, a lot of the altcoins that you'd expect to be, main movers have started to move. And that's all as a result of, kind of some of the changes that are coming for the US regulatory landscape. And I like that. I'd like to see that the price action respects that too.
Yeah, good for a change. I mean, we haven't seen that type of administration really at all since I mean, even Trump's first administration, there wasn't a whole lot of talk about crypto stuff. So it is good to see that. It's good to see the changing of the guards at the SEC, because now, the past couple of years they've been throwing a case at anything that walks, basically. So that'll be a good change to see too, and I am glad that the market is respecting it. It's very refreshing to say.
I even remember Trump actually came out and spoke out against Bitcoin, and that they actually had to launch the CME futures contracts in order to stop Bitcoin from just going up forever. And that, so yeah, if anything, the economy was quite good during his first term.
Yeah.
And, all the markets respected that, and Bitcoin especially, it went from like the $150 low to like $20,000 nearly. So that I think the market feels the same this time. I think, but now you're actually getting him to acknowledge it and come speak at Bitcoin conferences, and
right.
So I mean, it really is. It's nice. And then at the same time, a lot of the things that have been holding us back as an industry those gates are falling down. So I mean, it's really just a perfect setup. And I remember, in regards to more of the macro, like I remember the dollar index at that time, after he had been elected, it had this huge rally, and then the DXY kind of just chopped up and down, and it just glided up like this for, I want to say, like 2 years. And I got the chart here, and then it wasn't until the pandemic fears, where there was this huge volatility wick in both directions on the dollar. And that's when it croaked, and it was in the face of all that money printing that happened. And that's when Bitcoin got its big surge, and the bull market really kicked up. Was in March and April of 2020.
Yep.
So just to finish that point, the DXY now has done that similar move on the president's election. And it basically, what happened was there was a huge crash, it went sideways, and then it rallied all the way back up, made this big V bottom. And we're at the top right now, testing resistance on that chart.
Do you want to pull the chart up?
Yeah, I might as well. It's worth seeing. I mean, if you can see the visual, it really does improve the example. So here it is. This is the point I'm talking about right here. This was back in December of 2017. And then this was the 18, and this was the bear market. So keep this in mind, I guess. So Trump, I don't know. Trump gets elected in 16, right? Somewhere in here. Was it? Did he get into office in 16? No, he
would have been early 17.
17,
yeah.
So November would have been the election.
So Bitcoin starts bottoming like in this zone when the DXY is kind of in this sort of a pattern. And then this is January of 17. This is the Bitcoin bull run. And this is the end of the Bitcoin bull run here, where the dollar kind of stops and goes sideways. And then, Trump's in office now. This is the beginning of 18. This is the dollar doing this move here. And this is where I believe we're at now. So I believe we are at this potential period now where and it could go longer. Ben Cohen says, next year that the dollar will roll over. So it'll do this and then it'll roll over, which means our bull market continues faster and stocks and crypto goes up faster. But right now everything's climbing in a strong dollar environment as well. And I think we've saw like the bond market's kind of corrected now a little bit. It's looks like a normal, healthy bond market, which is good. But so yeah, this is the setup that we have going into this. And I don't know. I think that the bull market cycle is going to be extended, just like I've been saying, 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be on the back of something like this, where the dollar's just going to be strong for a while because we're going to have a strong economy, and then eventually it'll lead into a bigger, like an even bigger wave for crypto, if you can imagine. Like we'll go up, but we're really going to go up when this period happens. Timing that's going to be fun.
Yeah, fun or stressful, one of the two. Yeah, figuring out what to do.